Have you ever pondered how Christianity, a faith that began over 2,000 years ago in a remote corner of the Roman Empire, has shaped the world we live in today? In the early days of Christianity, the religion was seen as revolutionary, even subversive to the existing order. It preached a message of love and compassion, and its followers were expected to live out these values in their daily lives. This radical approach to living was not without consequences. Yet, it planted the seeds of many institutions and ideas that are now cornerstones of our modern world. As we move into the 4th century, we see a significant development in public health care. The first hospitals, as we would recognize them today, emerged from the Christian period. Basil of Caesarea in the Eastern Byzantine Empire founded the first Christian hospital, triggering what some have called the Second Medical Revolution. Over the next few decades, Christian hospitals became a ubiquitous feature of Byzantine society. Leaping forward a few centuries, we find ourselves in the Middle Ages, a time of great intellectual and cultural growth. The first Western European universities sprang to life in this era, growing directly from much older Christian cathedral schools and monastic schools. These institutions, rooted in the traditions of Christian learning, became the birthplaces of modern academia. The Middle Ages also saw the birth of a systematic, programmatic, ongoing way of studying and controlling the world, a discipline we now call science. This development, many historians and philosophers of science argue, arose only once in history, and only in one place, medieval Europe, once known as Christendom, where the biblical worldview reigned supreme. Fast forward to the modern era, and we see Christianity's influence in the realms of politics and economics. Modern representative democracy and free commerce, innovations we often take for granted, owe their existence to ideals pioneered by the medieval Catholic Church. The abolition of slavery, one of the most significant moral victories in human history, was largely driven by devout Christians. They believed in the inherent dignity and worth of every human being, a belief deeply rooted in their Christian faith. As ancient historian and atheist, Tom Holland stated in his article, "Why I Was Wrong About Christianity. It took me a long time to realize my morals are not Greek or Roman, but thoroughly and proudly Christian." The elevation of women and the advocacy for human rights, both central to our modern understanding of equality, also find their roots in Christianity. In her article, Christianity, the Best Thing That Ever Happened to Women, Sue Bolin notes that nothing has elevated the status and value of women as biblical Christianity has. Lastly, Christianity, from its inception, has stood firm against the practices of infanticide and abortion, advocating for the sanctity of life. As noted in the article titled Early Christian Opposition to Infanticide, infanticide was common in all well-studied ancient cultures, including those of ancient Greece, Rome, India, China, and Japan. Its widespread practice even led to the collapse of some ancient cultures. From its earliest creeds, Christians absolutely prohibited infanticide as murder. To Christians, the infant had value. Whereas pagans placed no value on infant life, Christians treated them as human beings. They viewed infanticide as the murder of a human being, not a convenient tool to rid society of excess females and perceived weaklings. The baby, whether male, female, perfect, or imperfect, was created in the image of God and therefore had value. In conclusion, Christianity's influence on the modern world is profound and far-reaching. From hospitals to universities, from science to democracy, from human rights to the value of life, the threads of Christian thought and action are woven deeply into the fabric of our society and a witness to the truthfulness of Christianity. As ancient historian Tom Holland noted, if Western civilization is the fishbowl, then the water is Christianity. And as Francis Bacon, the father of empirical science, noted, "Of all signs there is none more certain or worthy than that of the fruits produced, for the fruits and effects are the sureties and vouchers, as it were, for the truth of philosophy." In conclusion, the tremendous positive influence that Christianity has on our modern society is a testament to the enduring power and truthfulness of a faith that began in a manger over 2,000 years ago.